So you can come onto your back. We'll start that way this week, as we often do. I usually recommend you take this time to let go of any expectation that you might be bringing with you to the class, ideas of what the class should be, ideas about what you should or shouldn't be able to do with your body. And just take a moment to feel the breath as it comes and goes. And just don't do anything with that, just feel. Let's begin now to deepen our breathing. So as you inhale, fill first the belly, the ribs, and then the upper chest. And as you exhale, reverse that. That's called complete or three-part yogic breathing. And in Sanskrit, it's called dirga. Now, some people, when they do that in class, when I teach in person, I'll hear them starting to make a sound when they breathe. Ideally, dirga is actually silent when used by itself. So if you're making a lot of noise, if there's a lot of sniffing going on and other sounds, see if you can eliminate that. So maybe slow the breath down, breathe deeply and fully, but without a lot of pressure, right? And you're not doing that kind of a thing, okay? So that's the first technique. The second technique, which we layer on top, is intentionally creating a sound, but it's not a sniffing. It's not by creating a lot of force with the breath. It's the opposite. We actually constrict the throat, what's called your glottis, okay? Now, you don't need to know any of that. What you need to do is basically, this thing, fogging a mirror, making your breath hot. You can try that, in fact, if you want. That's it. That's exactly the technique. The same thing that you're using to make that steaming the mirror thing is exactly how you create ujjayi. You just keep your mouth closed. So you can do that. The glottis is completely independent of having your mouth open. And then what you can learn to do is to use the same technique on the inhale as well. Ideally, that's what we're doing with this, inhaling and exhaling with that ocean sound, hissing sound, okay? All right, so we have those two techniques. The last technique is just inhales and exhales are the same length. I don't want to spend too long on that today, but just you can count inhale and exhale, make sure the same length of time. We don't want one to be super short and the other one to be super long. That indicates an imbalance. So we don't want that. So using those two techniques, dirga, ujjayi, both the inhale, exhale, about the same length, okay? All right, so today we're focused on twisting. We'll bring the right leg in and we can give that leg a little squeeze, hug it in, move it around a little bit. Feel the hip. So I did a lot of hiking this weekend. I'm feeling that in my hip there, the outside of my hip. Okay, so move it around, feel the front of the joint, just wherever there's sensation really. But those are the most likely areas, out here or right in the front of the joint. Okay, give it a little squeeze. And then we'll use the left hand to just guide it down as we extend our right arm out into a simple twist here. Okay, so again, today's class, we're focusing on twisting. So we're just going to start with a pretty simple or basic one, this one here. Okay, so notice what you feel. Your knee may or may not touch the ground. Mine's nowhere near the ground right now, and this feels plenty intense. So again, try and let go of ideas like my knee should be on the ground. let go of trying to force it down. You know, I can force it down, but it just doesn't feel very good in my body right now. My body isn't that warmed up. It's not ready to twist that deeply, okay? All right, let's inhale back to center. Now we're going to actually twist this femur as well. So bring the right foot to your left hand. So I'm holding the foot with my left hand. Bring the right knee to the right hand. And then what you'd like to do is this. So you're pulling the foot closer and maybe even pushing the knee away, bringing the shin bone approximately parallel. So it may not be perfect. Okay, again, we don't want to force anything, but this is creating a rotation here in this hip joint. Okay, so I can pull that in. You know, some people like to do this. You can do that as well. It's more or less the same thing. This, I have a little more control. And I like to be a little more aggressive. So I actually wrap my elbows and then I hug it in. Now this may be way too aggressive for you now at this stage in the class or just at any point in the class. So please know the limits of what your body can do right now. Okay, don't force anything. You notice I'm lifting this left leg and I just find that gives me a little bit of a better stretch. I get more options and you'll notice I'm moving as well. So this is not, we're not focusing on static stretching right now. We'll do that a little later. Okay, so right now I'm just warming up, saying hello to those rotators in the hip there. Okay, all right, let's switch sides. So we bring the left leg in. I'm feeling very similar things, maybe a little more discomfort at the front of my hip. But, you know, the two sides can be completely different. So please don't expect that you should feel the same on both sides. Okay, so we're feeling our way into that hip a little bit, leg. And then, again, you can see me, I'm just going to guide that knee toward the ground. It's not going to reach the ground. All right, and then if you don't like that hovering feeling, then grab a block or something, just put something under that knee there. And what do you feel? Right, so again, I'm really feeling this in my body today. I have a lot of soreness and stiffness in my body. I was sick a few weeks ago and I've started, you know, moving more and getting back out there. And when you move a lot, that actually can create soreness, stiffness, you know, discomfort in the body. It's to be expected to a degree. Okay, so it's not always a bad thing if you feel that. Okay, let's inhale. We'll come on back to center. Now let's rotate the femur. The femur is this bone here, your thigh bone. And again, I like to be a little more aggressive. You do not need to be that aggressive. Again, we so often have this idea of grading ourselves or rating ourselves, comparing ourselves with others. So this idea that like I need to do what the teacher's doing or else I'm not doing a good job, this is not correct. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and release that leg. We'll bring both in now. And it might feel good to just make some circles here to move a little bit. This is like the leg cradle in yin. And then let's just do a tiny bit of core here. Tiny, tiny bit. I'm really sore my abs too. I did a workout this weekend with my core. So we just inhale and exhale, lower those legs. Inhale, draw them up, extend them up. Exhale, lower the legs. Okay, so this is just very simple, just activating the rectus abdominis primarily. And if you want to work harder, keep those legs straight as you lift them. Okay, I don't want to work harder. I've worked plenty hard already. So if anything, I want to take it easy here. I can really feel my abs. Okay, now the next time we bring those legs in and up, let's exhale 1/3, take a breath. And exhale 1/3, take a breath. Exhale, hover above the ground and take a breath. Good, inhale, pop the legs up. Exhale, up to seated. So in yin, we call that the hinge. Let's come into a tabletop position and we will begin addressing the spine and torso here. So again, some back and forth movements, some side to side movements, combinations thereof. Again, I could be really rigid here and, tell you exactly what to do. We've done that in the past and maybe we'll do it in the future. But right now, I just feel like, at least for me personally, I'm getting more out of just moving and feeling where my body needs the movement, rather than doing a set number of cat-cows or a set number of side-to-side hip movements. Just feel. Try and do more of that which is helping, okay? Okay, from there, we tuck the toes and lift the hips. We come into a down dog. We can pedal those feet. We can roll over the toes. We can circle the ankles. We can bend the knees, kick the legs. Just whatever you're needing here. And then when you're done with that, you can come into your full expression of the downward dog. So hands shoulder width, fingers spread wide, palms flat, feet hip distance, chest reaching toward the toes. Now, what's going on with the breath? We really don't want to change how we're breathing just because we've changed the position of our body, okay? From here, with an exhale, we walk our feet to our hands, coming into a rather gentle stretch for the back of the body, called the ragdoll. I like to grab the opposite elbow, but this is not really required. And then, again, gentle movement can really be helpful for awareness, to coax the body open, to coax the body to release and relax in areas. You can nod or shake the head, sway the hips, bend the knees. These sorts of things can really help. Okay, arms relaxed. We inhale and we roll on up to standing. Now this we do almost every week, more or less the same way, which is the sun salutations. I don't teach them in a particularly traditional way, but they have been part of the Vinyasa yoga tradition pretty much since the start. So I do feel like this is an important thing to include. So with the feet touching, let's inhale, arms up, touch palms and lift the heart, stretching the front of the body. We exhale into a forward fold, bringing the palms flat, bending the knees and letting the neck relax. With an inhale, we can come to our fingertips or take hands to the shins, lengthening the spine. As we exhale, we plant the hands and step to the top of a push-up. Okay, in our push-up, we want to align ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels more or less in a straight line. So when I say that, what you want to avoid is this, which is one thing I see in classes, and then this, which I also see quite a bit of, okay? This makes it easier, and this is just like lack of engagement. You're not really working here. Also can be easier. So the pose is here, and this requires core engagement. And so this is the posture. If you can't do that, just drop your knees and again, try and hold more or less the same position, okay? So we don't want those hips too high. We don't want them too low, even with the knees down. Okay, let's go ahead and drop those knees regardless. Take a deep breath and exhale halfway down. Take a breath here with the elbows hugging the ribs, and then exhale the rest of the way. As you inhale, press into the hands, lift your head, neck, chest. Keep the hips on the ground. Exhale, lower down, press back to tabletop, and then to a downward facing dog, and take a few breaths there. Okay, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. We exhale to the front edge of our mat. Inhale up to the standing back bend, and then grabbing the right wrist with the left hand, we'll exhale into a side stretch. Just say hello to our obliques there. Inhale through center and exhale to half moon on the other side. Good. Inhale back to center and exhale to forward fold as you empty your lungs. We inhale to the half lift and then exhale if you can. Again, stepping back to the top of a push-up. And then up to you, knees up or down. Just be honest with yourself if you're able to do that. Take a deep breath, exhale, lower down halfway. And then inhale, straighten the arms and legs for up dog if you're able. Otherwise, if you want hips down, then repeat the cobra. If you want your knees or hips down, okay? All right, exhale. Pull both feet in at the same time as you lift your hips up and back to downward dog. Okay, let's do one more. So inhale, fill the lungs, come to your toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend, and then exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale, center, exhale, half moon. Inhale, center, and then exhale into the chair pose, also known as the awkward pose. So this should feel somewhat uncomfortable. And one of the things we're trying to learn to do with our yoga practice is learn to be comfortable with discomfort. That might sound like a paradox, but it's very, very much what we're trying to learn to do here. One of the things we're trying to learn. So if you're like here and you're like, oh, this is really easy, then the pose isn't right, okay? Try and find a little bit of discomfort and then try and use your breath, relax your face, and try and be present. It's another way of saying more or less the same thing. Try and be present, be open to experiencing the moment without labeling it uncomfortable or making a lot of drama about what you're experiencing. Okay, let's inhale back to standing back bend. Give your front side a stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Give your back side a stretch. Inhale to half lift. And if you can, exhale right to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale for the up dog or repeat cobra. And then if you're able to exhale, do a push-up on your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling warmed up. I know I am. I don't have the AC on when I film these. So it's nice and hot in here. I'm starting to sweat. Let's bring the feet to touch. We're going to inhale right leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring it toward your chest, out to the right and back behind you. Now try and keep the knee bent. When I teach this live, I see people doing this all the time. Just try and keep that knee bent. Just circle the knee and do a few in each direction. Okay, you don't need to straighten the leg. Just keep it bent. Move the hip joint. That's the purpose of what we're doing. Okay, take a deep breath, exhale, lunge, and then inhale to this one, crescent lunge. We did this last week. Okay, so the front foot and knee straight ahead, left hip forward, right hip back, left heel reaching toward the ground. So I see people in class doing this all the time. This is not correct. It's not a ballet pose, okay? Heel toward the ground. It's not going to reach the ground. I have very flexible ankles, and my ankles do not reach the ground, okay? But it's like a down dog. Heels toward the ground directly behind the toes. Leg is straight. Arms straight up and back. And there is a back bend element to this, so let those arms, head, everything go back, but keep this knee over the heel. Okay, again, if you see this, my shin is straight up and down. Okay? So some people, as they go back, they begin straightening this knee like that. That is incorrect. You're not going to work this thigh. Okay, deep breath in, exhale, bottom of the push-up, make your way to the downward facing dog. Okay, side 2, feet touch. We inhale, left leg up and back. Let's bend the knee and bring it toward the belly, out to the left and back behind. So again, these are meant to be like big circles. And let's try and do a few in each direction, just feeling the hip, feeling the muscles that move the femur, okay? Good. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale as we lunge, and we inhale again to our best crescent lunge. So feeling a stretch here at the front of the hip, feeling this thigh working, and maybe feeling a little bit of that back bend element that is a part of this posture as well. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of the push-up as you make your way to downward dog. Okay. From here, let's inhale to the toes. We're going to exhale front edge of the mat. Inhale up to standing. And as we exhale, just take a twist to the right. Yeah, to the right. Okay, so right hip forward, right shoulder back. Fingertips reaching out and gaze is backward, okay? Let's inhale back to center and we exhale, twisting to the other side. Good, let's inhale back to center and we exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, or maybe you do this one, crow pose, Bakasana. Exhale, step, jump, or float, bottom of the push-up. Inhale for an up dog. And again, if you can, push up on your way back to the downward dog. All right, everybody. From here, let's go ahead and bring our feet to touch. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back. And as we exhale, let's go ahead and, well, actually, let's keep the leg lifted. Sorry, we're going to do three-legged dog here. So that leg is lifted, it's straight, but you'll notice my toes are pointing down. Knee and hip are pointing down. Now, this is in contrast to this, okay, which is, again, what I see many people do. I also see people pointing that foot up, okay? So, again, just being able to follow directions, being able to try and control your body, this is very, very important. So do your best. Then take a deep breath and exhale as you lunge. And then we'll inhale to the crescent lunge and we'll do a little flow here. Okay, so we inhale up. And then exhale, we just bend those arms. Good. We inhale up to here, stupa. And then we exhale, crescent lunge facing back, right? Good. So let's just flow a few times. We did this last week, almost identical, the same thing. Inhale up, and then exhale, crescent lunge. And then one more time in both directions. Stretch and work the thighs, hips. Inhale up, stretch and work the hips and thighs. Good. Now let's inhale up, exhale to crescent. Inhale just the arms up and exhale hands to your hips. Step the back foot in and square your hips to the front edge of the mat. So another way of saying that is if you had two headlights on the front of your hips, they are facing straight ahead, right? So if my hips are tilted, the headlights are going this way, right? The headlights, we want them straight ahead, okay? I also want heels on the ground and legs straight, okay? This is called Parsvottanasana. So inhale, right thumb over left, palms join, and then exhale from the hips, hinging, and coming down either to the ground or two blocks, okay? Now, once you get there, hands can split apart, and then we're folding over that right thigh, and getting as much stretch as we can out of that. So if you're not feeling much stretch, try and keep your spine straighter. Try and lengthen your spine. You can bring your forehead towards your shin if you like. Now try and remember how this feels, because again, we will flow this posture, and this is not the easiest posture to flow, okay? So just try and, it's more of a feel thing than doing it perfectly. Okay, inhale, look forward, bend the knee. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. And make your way back to down dog. Okay, side 2. So feet touch. I inhale, left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Again, this is not really a stretch. There might be a little bit of strength involved here, but not too much. This is more just about sort of awareness and control, things like that. Alignment. All right, let's take a deep breath. We exhale, lunge, and we inhale to a crescent lunge. Exhale, bend those arms. We inhale up to this stupa. This is just a transition. It's nothing fancy. Exhale, crescent lunge, facing back. Good. So we're going to do that a few more times on both sides. Good. Now we exhale to crescent with the arms bent. Just inhale those arms up. And exhale, hands to hips. Step the back foot in. Square the hips off. Now we're taking several breaths again to do this here. When we flow next time around, you won't have as much time. So again, this is where feeling the posture, feeling the effects of the posture, feeling the right position of everything is important. It's not going to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, okay? So we don't worry about that. We're just not going to have as much time next time. Okay, inhale, arms up, left thumb over the right. And exhale, forward and down, right? And again, I can put my hands on blocks. Now, if you absolutely have to bend the knee, that's okay, but I would prefer you put your hands on some blocks and keep that leg straight. And what do you feel here? I've had a little bit of stuff going on with my back since I got sick and I was in bed for so long. My back kind of acted up. So I'm feeling a bit of that. I'm feeling a stretch in the back of the thigh. All things I can manage. But again, movement is very revealing in terms of our health. You know, most movements like this should not be painful. Okay. Again, unless we are recovering from a workout or something like that. But if we're healthy and we haven't done a workout or anything, there shouldn't be a lot of pain there. There shouldn't be a lot of sensation, just a little stretch. Okay, inhale, bend the knee, look forward, exhale, bottom of the push-up, and make your way back to the downward dog. All right, so again, today we're working on some twisting. So let's take a look at our prayer twist. We inhale to the toes, exhale front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to standing, and then we just exhale chair twist, right, which we did last time, and we'll flow through it this time. So exhale down, inhale back up, and then exhale to a prayer twist. It's a little deeper twist. We did this last week. So hips down, spine long, palms between the elbows, right shoulder back, and gaze up, okay? Now you can stay there, but a great preparation for where we're going later is to come down into a side crow. Now, I have another class where I break down side crow a little more detail. I'm not going to do that completely today, but if you know that, you might want to throw it in here. And if you want to give it a shot, go ahead. Many people, if you've not done it or done it much or done it well, Many people find it helpful to bring this elbow to the hip, so you have 2 points of contact. Okay, it's a similar thing. It's not exactly the right way to do the pose, but it's close enough. It's a good way. It's like training wheels, a good way to get started, getting used to doing that. Let's take it to the other side. So inhale back up and exhale, twist in the other direction. Now again, you can stay here breathing in the twist, or again, if you don't think you're going to hurt yourself, I recommend trying, because again, a lot of the benefit of the practice comes from trying, not from being able to do. I know that sounds weird, but one of the things we're discovering about like neuroplasticity in our brains and our bodies is that actually making mistakes is really, really helpful, as long as those mistakes are not injurious, okay? So again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There is some truth to that. What doesn't injure you, what doesn't hurt you permanently is going to help you. So it's not about being comfortable and doing what's easy. We're here to do the opposite of that, if you will. Okay, let's inhale back up, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crow, or maybe handstand, and exhale, bottom of your push-up, making your way to the downward dog. Now again, I often skip them because I find it difficult to teach and do all those vinyasas. I will get out of breath, okay? All right, very good. So let's go ahead and bring our feet to touch here. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back. And let's exhale. We'll just touch the knee high up on the arm and take a breath there. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, and try and touch your nose, chin, or forehead with your knee. Good. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, opposite arm, kick the foot out, drop the back heel, and inhale, lift that left arm up to a fallen triangle. So lift those hips, open your heart, look up, breathe. Exhale the hand down, inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and inhale to crescent lunge. Okay, I'm just going to turn so I'm facing the camera here. Good. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent lunge. Now this is tricky, okay? But do the best you can. Inhale, straighten the arms and step the foot in. Exhale, pyramid. Okay. Good. Inhale, back up. And exhale, step back into crescent lunge. All right. So it's tricky, but it's not impossible. Inhale up. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, step it in and straighten. Exhale, Parsvottanasana, pyramid. Stretching the back of the thigh. Inhale, back up. Good. Exhale, crescent lunge, step back. Let's do the whole thing again. Inhale, up. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, back up. And exhale, step it back. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, step it in, straighten. And exhale, Parsvottanasana. Good. Okay. Now take a moment. Make sure that your Parsvo legs and hips are where you want them. So again, left hip forward, right hip back, legs straight. Place your hands on blocks if you need them. And now we're going to add a twist, literally, to this. So inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, plant the left hand under the shoulder there. And then inhale the right arm up into rotated triangle pose. Okay, Parsva Trikonasana, or Pravarita Trikonasana, sorry. Okay, so try and lengthen that left waist. Try and open the chest to the wall there. Reach the right fingertips up away from the ground. Look up. Breathe. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to down dog. And we'll do the same sequence on the other side. All right, so feet touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Exhale, knee high up on the arm, and just take a breath there. This is a little bit of core engagement there. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the center. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, try and touch the arm before you straighten the leg. And then inhale, lifting up, fallen triangle. Good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale, stupa, which is a transition. Exhale, crescent. And again, this is a little tricky, but with practice, you will get the hang of it. Inhale, straighten the legs, palms together, and exhale, pyramid. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, step back, crescent. Good. Inhale, up. And exhale, crescent. Inhale, step it in. And exhale, pyramid. Good. Let's do the whole thing on both sides again. So exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, step it back. One more time on the front side. Inhale. And exhale, crescent. Inhale, step. Exhale, fold and hold. Okay? So again, take a moment, maybe refine your alignment a little bit. Inhale, lengthen to the crown of the head. Exhale, right hand to the ground or a block. And then inhale, left hand up. Okay? Good. Breathing here. So again, some people have really flexible shoulder joints and they can bring their arm way back. It's not about how far back your arm goes. It's about opening your chest. So focus on the shoulder, not the arm so much. Bring the shoulder so that it stacks over the right shoulder and the right wrist as much as possible. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. So that's a, pretty deep twist, standing twist. It's a challenging posture. Okay, great work, everybody. So from here, let's go ahead and inhale to the toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. And we'll do a posture that we do quite often in my classes. Inhale up to standing. We exhale our arms out like wings for balance, and we can join index finger and thumb to create a mudra there. We're going to take a chair pose, and then let's inhale the, let me think, well, it doesn't really matter. Let's inhale the right ankle over the left thigh, foot flex, okay, and then the hips are coming down. And this is just like that stretch we did at the very beginning, where we were hugging the leg. Remember that? So this is the same stretch in terms of our hip, the outside of our hip. And the closer my chest comes to my shin, the deeper the rotation and the deeper the stretch there. Hips are down. Okay, I'm looking forward. And what's challenging here is that we're stretching and also balancing. So we're combining challenges here. That's why you might be having a hard time. Okay, the point isn't for everything to be easy. The point isn't for us to be able to do everything. Okay? All right, let's inhale back up, deep breath in. And then exhale. We again come into the same shape, but we bring the opposite leg over. Now, I hope it goes without saying, we do not want to feel it in our ankle or our knee, okay? So please, please, please be mindful of what you're feeling in your body. Okay, inhale, deep breath in, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. All right, everyone, we're coming into the home stretch here, so we'll try our most challenging variations here in this next set. Let's go ahead and bring our feet to touch. So this will be probably our deepest twist here. Let's inhale the right leg up and back. We exhale, again, touch the knee. Inhale, left. Exhale, touch the center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opposite arm, kick it out. Inhale, left arm up. And then exhale, hands and hips to the ground, okay? Bend both knees to about a right angle, okay? And come down to your elbows. This is called auspicious twist. It's actually a pretty deep twist, at least potentially. So you can pause here with your arms in like Sphinx, or you can bring your left shoulder all the way to the ground and bring your right palm to your left palm as you press yourself a little deeper into the twist. All right, let's unwind that one. So we straighten out those legs. We're just going to come right back into fallen triangle, okay? So we inhale, lift up. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And then inhale to your crescent lunge. And again, I'll turn just so I can keep facing the camera here. Good. Let's exhale, we bend those arms. And then inhale, we come up to our stupa, our transition. Exhale, crescent, facing front, or facing back rather. Good, inhale, step it in. Exhale, pyramid. And then we add the rotated triangle. So inhale, left arm up, right? Rotated triangle, good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, step back to crescent. Okay, good. So all things we've done, we're just putting them together. Inhale, step it in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twisting. And exhale, hand to the ground. Inhale, stand up. It's not the easiest transition. And then exhale, step back. Good. Let's do the whole thing on both sides again. So exhale, facing back. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, step back into a lunge. Good. One more time, facing front. So exhale, facing front. Inhale, stand up tall, straighten those legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist. Exhale the hand down, and here we're going to add one more, right? So like we normally do. So inhale, lift that back heel up. Now, just like three-legged dog, the foot is flat, toes, knee, and hip point down. I'd like to lengthen out as much as possible. So nice long spine. Exhale, plant the left hand to the ground or to a block, and inhale the right arm up, and that is the rotating, balancing half moon posture. So again, you're reaching those fingertips away from the ground, looking up, opening the chest to the wall. lengthening your left waist to the ground. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. So I think most of you have heard me say at one time or another, balance is one of the most valuable things you get out of a class like this. Balance and also active back bends, core work. Those are all super, upper body strengthening, all that stuff, super, super important, okay? Okay, feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, touch the arm. Good. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, opposite arm. Kick it out. Inhale, fallen triangle. And exhale, auspicious twist. So hopefully you can see how my legs bend on this side, right? So just like right 90-degree angles. Forearms to the ground. Again, maybe that's deep enough. I like to usually go a little further. So shoulder to the ground for me. Okay, so we'll go ahead and straighten legs, straighten arms. Inhale, fallen triangle. Exhale the hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale as we lunge. Inhale up, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent lunge facing back. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist. Exhale, hand to the ground. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, step back, lunge. Inhale, stupa, and exhale, facing front. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rotated triangle. Exhale the hand to the ground. Inhale, back up. Exhale, step back. Good. One more time on both sides. Inhale, up. Exhale, facing back. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rotated triangle, twisting. Exhale that hand back down. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, step back. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, crescent. Last time. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, twist. And then this time, exhale the hand back down. Inhale, reach your right heel away from the crown of your head and the crown of the head away from the heel. Plant the right hand directly under your shoulder and then inhale the left arm up and try and stack that left shoulder over your right shoulder. So chest open, right waist long, gaze up. Good. Exhale, bottom your push-up, make your way to the downward facing dog. Okay, now as usual, we'll try and put everything together in one last challenging arm balance. And again, I can't see you guys at home, but I hope you'll all give this the old college try. So let's come to the front of the mat. We'll inhale up. So the key to doing this is to do as much as you can safely. And now remember, safety and comfort are different things. We're actually trying to use this class to get out of our comfort zone. If you're wondering why we might want to do that from more of a scientific perspective, then check out my Patreon page. I post stuff by doctors and scientists on there explaining you know, why you want to make yourself uncomfortable, okay, why that's good for your health. But this class is designed to do that. So even if you're fairly fit, there's probably going to be some things in this class that aren't the easiest thing for you. Even if you can do them, it's still going to be challenging. It is for me, for sure. Okay, so this is the Parsva Bhuja Dandasana. It's also known as grasshopper pose. So we start with this. We inhale, arms up. We take our chair pose, right? We've already done this. And so let's inhale. This is the right, or sorry, the left side, okay? So I'm going to mirror you guys, so I'll do it this way, okay? All right, from there, we see if we can take a twist and bring our elbow into the foot like so. Okay, so this is similar to the prayer twist that we did earlier, and this might be where you stop. Okay, so if you're not comfortable with arm balances, then you can hang out here in this twist. If you are comfortable with arm balances, then try and bring your palms to the ground, look up, and then lift up. Okay, and that's called the grasshopper pose. It's a twist, it's an arm balance, it requires flexibility in the hips and the spine, requires strength in the arms, requires your inner ear to your vestibular system, your balance to be on. So there's a lot. That's why it's a complex posture. That's why it's a challenging posture, because if all those things aren't happening, then you're not going to be able to do the pose. And again, just trying can actually work those systems and begin to bring them back online if they aren't functioning well. Okay, let's try the other side. So deep breath in. We're going to exhale, take our chair pose. Everyone can do this much, right? And then let's see if we can get here. Usually when I teach in person, everyone can do this too, okay? Now, when we add the twist, that's where we might start to lose a few folks. So if that's where it gets challenging for you, good. Work on that. Work on doing this, what I'm doing here, okay? And it might take a lot of practice, but that will be good for your body and for your nervous system and your balance, your vestibular system, okay? All right, so work on that. Once that's fairly easy, I do recommend you start trying the arm balance. Again, you can start with the side crow. So if this, you know, with the foot and the leg and all that is too much, then just start working on this, right? Start working on that. Just, you know, bringing the weight and so your feet get light. And again, you don't need to hop or jump. That won't help. It's about weight distribution. And again, that's your inner ear. That's your sense of balance. So arm balances are usually require much less strength than you might think. It's a lot more about inner ear and balance, okay? All right, everybody, nice work. Let's go ahead and unwind onto our back. Let's take it easy for a few breaths. From there, we'll pull those legs in. Let's give them a nice squeeze. And then we've done a lot of twisting, but let's finish with a twist. So knees to the left. Let your breathing be natural. So as most of you know, I like taking my time warming up. From my perspective, in terms of working out, it's much more important than cooling down. So cooling down we'll do during Shavasana. I don't take a lot of time to do a lot of stretches at the end of the class usually. If you want to do that, that's really what I do in the yin class. So in the time that I've been teaching, classes have gone from 90 minutes to 75 minutes to now an hour or even shorter. And, everyone wants to do, a great yoga class in an hour. Well, it's not a lot of time, really. So the way that I've approached it is, I teach yin yoga, I teach flow. And if you want to stretch mostly and relax and do all that, then do the yin class. This is more for the active part of it. Let's inhale back through center. We exhale the knees to the other side. So I'm in no way saying you should pick one or the other. Ideally, you do both. And a pre-commercialized yoga class usually lasted 90 minutes to 2 hours. That was fairly common, okay? Now that yoga is popular and there's a whole yoga industry, classes on average are an hour. So taking an hour for yin and an hour for flow, you're basically getting the complete picture of like a very traditional yoga class, okay? That lasts again for more than an hour, usually an hour and a half, 2 hours. So again, as a modern yoga teacher, I've just had to learn how to adapt. And so one of the ways I do that is in the flow class, the relaxation portion is basically Shavasana. All right, let's inhale back to center. We can grab our feet, give them a little stretch here, roll on our back a little bit. We do want to prepare a little bit for Shavasana, so we're just stretching things out a bit. Okay, and then from there you can unwind onto your back, take your corpse pose. And as always, I recommend grab your phone, set a timer for 6 minutes, and try and be still with your eyes closed for those 6 minutes.